G'day Tiger fans and welcome to Talking Tigers, Richmond's live official weekly podcast. It's been a relaxing few days following the win on Saturday night. What a ripping event Dreamtime at the G is now, Tone, and you had something to play in getting that all together. So well done, mate, and well done to all the Tiger fans for turning up on Saturday night. It was the biggest ever Saturday night crowd for a home and away game. That's amazing. On today's show, we talk about our leadership group and the impact they had against the Bombers. The Chief, mate, he is ready to move into elite company. The next step for him is to go global. I'm going to talk about what he's been up to. And Greeners is going to have a look back at the best Tiger recruits to come from other clubs, and I reckon that's on the back of our boy, Big Nanka. Boys, welcome. Good to be here.
Yeah, sorry, just getting a bit carried away there with a bit of...
Who is that?
That's Gary Glitter and the Glitter Band.
Oh, yeah.
I love a bit of glam rock.
And what's that song called?
Leader of the Gang.
Leader of the Gang.
Yeah, why have we gone with that?
Well, I think we've gone with it because of our leader, Trent Cotchin.
Absolutely.
How good was he on Saturday night?
Inspirational. Absolutely inspirational.
He was.
It's fantastic.
And Rance as well, our leaders.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that.
And even Jack, when he nailed that goal,
he'd had the yips before then.
He would have had a little bit of doubt in his mind. Missed a couple of easy ones, which is un-Jack-like.
That little thing on his shoulder, that man on his shoulder.
But he drilled the one that he had to. And
my word, he did.
Got us in front.
No, it was great. It was terrific, obviously huge crowd and just a really important win. Obviously, we played some pretty good footy and obviously no Tiger fan needs reminding of what had happened in the last few moments of those three previous games, but stood up when it was required.
And it is testament to all the Tiger supporters who did show up off the back of those three close losses, but they had seen the signs that a good football team was there, and Essendon made us work for it right until the end. And even when Nank kicked that goal, I put the tweet out, but a couple of weeks earlier I'd been two weeks earlier I'd been scarred by it, but so I was still a little bit hesitant to put it in until he went back and took
premature celebration.
Oh, not over the top, but people point to it. But when he went back and took that mark in defence as well to seal the victory, it was just a big breath of relief that we got the 4 points and can move on.
No doubt about that.
And I thought our leaders were great because they'd been questioned again. Lloydie questioned them during the week in his newspaper article. He suggested if we'd had a Joel Selwood, we would have won all three of those games and be sitting on top of the ladder. And I thought our leaders responded beautifully and showed that they willed us across the line, I thought, on Saturday night, and it was just fantastic to see.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. And, just to be able to get back onto the winners list, really, obviously, very, very important to be able to do that, So,
how good's Dreamtime at the G now?
It's just massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Massive.
It's a genuine blockbuster now, isn't it?
Certainly a blockbuster, no doubt. It's captured the imagination, I think, of the football public, really, and obviously the whole round now, so Doug Nicholls round and the indigenous, Guernseys and everything that goes with it. It's huge. Yeah.
I thought that was good. All the Aboriginal boys, indigenous boys that wore number 67, to a man.
They were pretty prominent, weren't they?
They all played well. It just showed how much it did mean to them. The 50 years since the referendum, and we had a lady talk to us before the game from the AFL, and she talked about that referendum and how 90% of people that voted obviously in favour. I was staggered that there were 10% that didn't. Yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it, when you think about it?
It is, yeah.
But anyway.
Come a long way in 50 years. But no, Shedder, obviously for us wearing it, he was good. It meant a lot to him, and he really stood up.
And then the two young boys as well going in to toss the coin.
Yeah, it was great.
Three side by side with Daniel, and then Shay in his second game as well. We'll probably talk a bit more about Shay later in the show, but
he was great, Shay. He's got some real class about him, hasn't he?
And again, that defensive
the tackle.
forward 50 pressure.
What about the chase?
It was a beauty.
The chase on Zaharakis.
It was huge because they were off.
Yeah.
They were off and running.
The handball that released Castagna to Jack, who missed the goal, but that was something special.
The mark he took.
They would have kicked a goal on that Zaharakis run.
Doubt.
They were out forward of the footy. That was magnificent.
No doubt at all.
Hey, on Sunday, Tone, I want to bring this up. Mick Warner was suggesting that Kevin Sheedy should be elevated to legend status in the AFL Hall of Fame on the back of obviously his playing and coaching, but also on the back now of what he's done for the game. In particular, it was his idea for Dreamtime.
Right.
But you had a little bit to play. Does that mean you go into the Hall of Fame as well?
Probably should, yeah.
Because you were involved in it, weren't you?
Well, you know that I came up...
We've talked about it before.
I came up with the title,
Yeah.
Dreamtime at the G, which obviously is, taken off massively and everyone refers to it.
Are you annoyed that
Dreamtime at the
Sheedy
G.
gets all the accolades?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably played 250-odd games more than me and coached about, 800 games more than me.
Yeah. Do you think you
But
should
apart
be in the
from
Hall
that-
of Fame then?
Well, I think if he goes in for that, maybe if I'm not in the Hall of Fame, maybe there's just perhaps a little room of fame.
Right.
Just
Bit
a
of
little room of fame.
An anti-room.
I don't know, what's the smallest room in the... Yeah, even that room, maybe. Yeah, perhaps I could go in that.
Yeah.
The lavatory.
It's a good idea, the lavatory of fame.
We'll do our votes a little bit later on, but what did you make of the votes on Saturday night for the Yukon?
Yeah, a little bit strange. I thought that Dustin Martin was clearly best of field, and
think
the
so.
coaches felt
Was he
that.
clearly best of field?
Well, it's
He was best of field. Well, the coaches felt that. He got the 10 votes
he
in the
did get
coaches
the 10.
award.
Caro didn't give him a vote.
Nah,
I love Caro. I'll get along well with Caro.
Yeah,
but
no, we all like Caro.
She
but,
didn't give him a vote.
No, a bit mystifying.
but subjective, as we have votes coming up, so there's going to be a lot of debate because I
There
reckon
is.
there are 4 Richmond players who could
could
have
have got a vote.
legitimate claims to being the best player on
Actually,
the ground.
yeah, the best, not
The
just in
best.
the votes, the best.
So
It's a good problem to
people are
have,
gonna
though.
be- absolutely, and people
Isn't
are going
it?
to be stiff to miss out on votes.
Yeah.
Reckon
That's
he
right.
might have been able to get snuck in there somewhere, don't
Yeah.
you?
Oh,
Anyway,
he was great.
yeah, no, he was very, very good.
Gee, I hope he stays. We won't go into that.
No,
he'll
let's
stay.
not go into it.
Dusty
Let's
will
not
be
go
here.
because it's just every day there's something different.
He should have shares in the Herald Sun.
Oh,
Dustin Martin.
should he
He's
ever?
in there every day.
He's keeping SEN afloat too, I think.
Has he? Has he been in the Herald Sun every day this football
Every day,
season?
every day.
Yeah,
Every day
absolutely.
someone's just speculating or writing a column about what he should do or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, he'll stay.
now my revolution.
What?
What was my revolution?
What?
I don't know.
The round ball.
Ah,
What are you talking about?
I don't
Tone?
know. What are you talking about?
What do you got here?
I've got last week's.
Last week.
You've got last week's rundown, you goose. What is wrong with him in the rundown?
I've lost my
JB?
rundown. I've lost my rundown.
No, well, you wanted to bring something up about our...
Oh, well, yes. I wanted to bring this up.
He's looking at a rundown from 2 weeks ago.
Sam Newman. I just completely. I'm just prehistoric.
What's wrong with you, Tony?
I'm not thinking straight.
Have
I'm
a look
still.
at-
I'm
have a look
rattled.
at that
I'm
one.
rattled. Okay.
Why do I bother doing these rundowns, JB?
I don't know. I
read
did
them.
fold it up and put it somewhere. I don't know where I've got it. Anyway, I wanted to mention that when you were interviewing, right, post game, you were interviewing the skipper,
Trent Cotchin,
with his inspirational performance. But after the game, immediately after the game on the ground, they tried
they
to
swapped jumpers.
Well, they tried to swap jumpers, right?
With Dyson Heppel.
Yeah, but I think that Koch was struggling to get Heppel's jumper on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was left because he didn't have a jumper.
Yeah,
So
it was
our
cold too.
team manager, the great Mark Opie, kindly volunteered to.
She gave the
she gave the
didn't she?
tracksuit top to Koch, which you said looked like.
Well, it looked like he was wearing a tent. Are you suggesting that our fearless
No, you
team
said
manager,
that.
Mark Opie's put a bit on?
You,
Is
no,
that what
you
you're
said
saying?
that. Well, I think Koch might have referred to him as being in a good paddock. I think that's pretty unfair. He gives his heart and soul and,
He does.
and guts for this club
He's been All-Australian team manager 15 times, Mark Opie.
in a row.
In a row.
In a row.
That's
It's an extraordinary performance. We need to get him in one day to
should.
talk to him about what his actual role is these days.
He is the best team manager in the AFL.
Yeah.
I'll never forget his one of our football trips up to Cairns back in the day. Gee, he was good, Opes.
Was he?
Oh,
What did he do?
I saw him eat a hamburger in about 15 seconds. Marco,
Yeah.
it's the quickest I've ever seen a man eat a
He
hamburger.
said it didn't have a teeth mark on it
No,
either.
it didn't. He just inhaled it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He's a great man.
Anyway,
He's
Mark,
a great man.
we love the service you've given this footy club.
No doubt. No doubt.
You've got mail.
And you would have seen in the post game when you were interviewing Koch, Dusty just taking a little.
Yes.
And what is that? What's that called?
I don't know.
It was brought
We
to
should
my
have
Loza
asked-
G. My daughter brought it to my attention.
It must
Someone
be
had said it to
a
her.
Gen Y sort of thing.
Is it?
We
Yeah.
might ask Lou when he
Well,
gets
Lou
in.
will know.
Yeah, Lou will
He'll know.
He hasn't heard of any of our music, but
No.
Certainly hasn't heard of any of mine.
Got any emails, did we?
yeah, we did. We got a couple actually that might precede your rant,
yeah, I
so we'll
think
hold on
so.
to those. But we got one from Nathan Selwood, who hasn't missed some of your
Not
media
Joel's
work.
brother.
I'm not too.
Could
Oh,
be
he's got a
another
few.
Not another.
There's only
Selwood.
20 of them.
Yeah.
Richo, after you ridiculed Greeners' idea of the specialist bouncers coming in for centre bouncers in last week's
Yes, I'm
episode
glad someone's brought this up.
of Talking Tigers, you were quick to claim the same idea in the first quarter of the
How
Dreamtime.
pathetic. And make it your own. And then having polls on it and tell us what you think. And
yeah.
my idea, and you pinched that.
I did,
So
I-
wonder you didn't say, and I came up with the Dreamtime at the G name or concept as well.
I did pinch that off you. Sorry,
It's just outrageous.
Nathan's picked up on it.
Yeah,
well
Nathan,
done,
he's
Nathan.
Good on you, Nathan.
don't take credit for other people's
Nah,
work. You're being
thanks,
smart,
mate.
so that's
So I
good
officially
feedback.
apologise for stealing your
right, okay.
ridiculous idea. I didn't get much positive
No, I got
feedback.
held down. Yeah.
Because we're keeping the show punchy, we'll just give a shout out to Shannon Crockett, who emailed in from the Kingdom
Might be
of...
Davies,
Where?
Davy
Where?
Crockett's son.
He's taken over.
Come on, Tone, let him do his segment.
Davy Crockett.
My one segment. The Kingdom of Bahrain.
Oh, really?
Bahrain.
Yep. We can
Wow.
add that to the list.
There's another one.
A lot of tweets.
Bahrain.
A lot of tweets to whip through here as well.
Yeah.
We'll go through them quick. We won't interrupt.
Okay, Rensman 20 wanted to say that the PM left our chief out in the cold in the last quarter when he needed him the most.
Just hold on there.
Just
I think that's on my last week's run sheet too, I think. Yeah.
Marcus Orr said thank Nank using hashtag
Nank.
Talking Tigers. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite like that. Ash Rodriguez was great win tonight. Showed heaps of heart to grind out the win. Dusty and B. Alice best on ground.
Yes.
Well, that'll be interesting in the votes. The Tail wanted to talk about Shea Bolton. We have a player there.
Yes, we do.
Great win after a tough to take 3 weeks. The Dusty Show again. That's from David Millett. Christmas Smithers, great win. Asprey's form continues,
He's
which
very,
will be very important
very
this week.
Underrated.
I think he's starting to be noticed, though.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Good.
People are starting to notice his year.
The Tail said Cochin is going under the radar this year, which is a big call as well. Brady Wilford, this week I'll be tuning into Talking Tigers from Seminyak, Bali.
Oh, Seminyak.
Hasn't there
what
been
a
a few-
great place, Seminyak.
Been a bit of action over in Bali this week.
Well, there has been too.
Let's not go into that.
No.
Roxman looking forward to this week. Can we address the reality of this week's game against North Melbourne? Quite simply, it's massive
It
in
is
the
massive.
context of the season. Must win against a bogey side.
Yeah, every week's a must-win.
But you're right, every week is.
Jeez, they keep coming. Brock Solid. Is Nank the best recruit of the season?
Yes, he
Richo?
is. Yes,
Well,
he
you've
is.
declared that.
He is.
Only because I'd already mentioned it. And
No,
then you
but
went
I
with
would have
that
thought
as well.
that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair
Tic Tac saying that one of his favourite sights at the moment is seeing Camden McIntosh chasing the ball in open space.
He's playing well too,
He had
Camden.
speed
Another one that's just getting under the radar a little bit.
and endurance and a big body.
Did some good work on Razzle Dazzle Fantasia.
He did
Camden.
indeed.
Jess Benson got a selfie with the chief.
Yeah, well,
probably not his first.
Well, that's probably a
of
good
the day.
a good time to maybe move into the chief, isn't it? Have we got one more?
Just got one more
Yeah.
from Manfred.
Oh, Manfred,
Oh,
man.
Manfred,
The
yeah.
podium man.
Kane Lambert. Kane Lambert kept Zach Merritt to 25 disposals, his lowest tally for the season. And Redhead wanted to give a shout out to Basher Hooley in his game.
Okay, he very underrated player, Camden. Kane Lambert. Kane Lambert has been in very good form, doing a really good run with
I
rolls
think
for us.
Sean Higgins this week.
I would think
Yeah.
it'd be a big chance. Yeah. But he's just going really well.
So just off the back of that tweet there mentioning the chief with Malcolm Turnbull. Did you see that?
Well, it was front and square.
He was all over the
Front
Channel
and
7
square.
broadcast.
Yep.
And he actually had a selfie with Malcolm Turnbull and he put it up on his Instagram. We know he loves his social media, the chief.
Yep.
He doesn't get much bigger now for him in Australia. He's basically ticked off everyone now. The Prime
he
Minister
has, yeah.
sitting next to him at the football. This is how big he is. He's hanging out with the silver tail from Manly.
Yes.
Malcolm Turnbull.
Not Manly, Point Piper.
Point Piper.
Oh,
Piper.
I thought he
Oh.
was from the Northern Beaches.
Is he? Oh, either way.
It's up that way
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
But I had a friend who was sitting just in front of
Really?
the PM and who'd been to the President's lunch, and he heard some of the issues that Brendan was talking about with Malcolm Turnbull.
Well, footy related.
No.
No footy?
No football at all. He covered off the budget. He wasn't happy with Scotty Morrison, the chief. Didn't like the budget. He was letting Malcolm know some issues that he had with the budget.
Yeah.
He weighed in on climate change with Malcolm.
No.
He wanted Malcolm to fix a few things there with the
No
climate
coal.
change.
No coal.
No, he just weighed in on it.
Did he?
All
Okay.
right.
Right.
he talked about the problem we have at the moment where we're selling our natural gas to Japan cheaper than what we can buy it for here. Chief not happy with the gas prices.
Did he have a solution to it? Or?
He did, but I haven't got time to get into it all now. He talked about the Korean Peninsula and the situation up there with Malcolm.
No.
And he also had some personal image advice for Malcolm too.
Really?
Just to get the polls up a little bit.
Because they've been bad. They've lost the last 13, I think. Really?
So you did notice that by the last quarter, no Malcolm sitting
Gonski.
Could not handle it anymore. I have good authority that he went down and sat in the cheer squad with Tiger Sean, Malcolm told me.
Just to get away from
the chief. So, Chief, fair dinkum. You forced our PM to get up out of his seat and leave because you just hassled him that much. Not good enough, Chieftain.
I wonder if it will reflect in the next poll.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Just watch them gas prices too. Just quickly.
Before you go into it, we've got a couple of emails. The first one from Richard Simpson. He's got a bit of sarcasm, which I quite like.
Yeah.
I thought
sarcasm.
at age 48, my childhood dreams of playing for the Tigers were dead and buried. But I see now with the new rush behind rule that the AFL wants players that are slow and give up easily, even rewarding them with cheap goals. I think I can be that player. If you agree, can you please pass on my details to the recruiting team? Cheers, Simo.
I'm going to get onto this in a minute. I'm going to get onto this soon.
And
it's been talked about.
Another one from
rant.
Brad Howson or Brad Hewson, depending where you come, is just on the deliberate out of bounds and rush behind debacle. The whole rule rankles with most of us footy lovers because it rewards the player who has taken the easy road. Anyway, it goes on a bit longer, but we'll leave over to you.
Good point.
You can argue whether it was deliberate or not, and a lot of people have said it was, and to the letter of the rule that they've brought in, the law, it probably was deliberate. But the thing I want to bring up, Tone, and rant about is it's not a good look for the game because the guy chasing now actually slows up and puts his hands out. Before Jaden Short had even pushed it through, Josh Green was appealing for a free kick. That's not a good look for the game,
Not
is
a
it?
good look.
And the rule didn't come in for those type of rush behinds,
did
it?
Came in for when Joel Bowden.
And then once again, it's evolved into a situation that it wasn't bought in for.
Correct.
And I don't like the fact that players now are appealing for free kicks and giving up on the chase. Josh Green gave up on the chase.
Yep.
Not a good look for the game, and that's all I wanted to say.
And you know what gets on my quince even more?
Right.
The fact that the media then spends the next 4 days talking about it.
Yeah.
So we've got the best season we've arguably ever had, the most even season, right? And all I want to do is talk about these contentious issues. So they talk about the Jaden Short issue, the deliberate out of bounds against the Western Bulldogs. Yeah. Then this one, rush through from behind. They talk about punches, jumper punches and punches. That's all we seem to do.
It's a pretty good season, though, isn't it?
It's a great season.
But we don't want to talk about Connor Menadue's tackle.
No. That's what we want to highlight because there's so much grey in our rules, right? So much grey area open to interpretation.
Makes it hard for the umpires.
But then the media just want to swarm all over it.
Makes it hard for the umpires.
Like talking about Chappelle, it's the same thing.
No, don't bring that up.
Overkill. Anyway.
Don't bring that up.
Punchy today, punchy.
Oh, yeah.
You can bid on 21 of the 22 signed match-worn Guernseys from Dreamtime at the G with the auction closing.
Which one can't you bid on?
Well, we'll get to that. At 7 p.m. this Thursday, June 1. Head to shop.richmondfc.com.au for full details on that. And you would have noticed, Tone, at the end of the...
Heppel's got Kochis.
No.
Oh.
Because at half-time, the players, they traded in their Guernseys.
Smart.
We definitely have those. The one that isn't up for grabs is, of all people, Dustin Martin's Guernsey.
Yeah.
Because
what are they doing with that?
We're giving it away.
Oh, good.
If you're listening to the show live, hopefully before 5 p.m. today, you can register to win his Guernsey via richmondfc.com.au/Dusty's Dreamtime Guernsey. All lowercase, all one word.
We're giving it away.
How good's that?
With only 13,000 registrations so far, the odds are pretty high. So
that'd be worth
13,000.
13,000.
That'd be worth. How much would it be worth if we were selling it?
Priceless.
Oh, well, it is priceless.
Well, he's won the Oyukin
He's gone
medal.
back to back.
Back to back
Oyukins.
And we did it with Jack Sands Guernsey as well, where he was best on ground. So we live to give.
Can we give away Jacks this week then? He might kick 6 or 7.
Well, that'll be good, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And then finally, just with the membership department, there's no longer hat or scarf collections at the game. So if you haven't picked yours up yet, get in contact and they'll be able to organise postage
membership
for you.
Number? Ticked over 70?
No, not yet.
Not
69,692. So
6969.
3:08 still to go.
Do you think we'll make it?
Of course we will.
We will.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't got a membership, go out and buy one now.
That's
we'll
it.
smash through that.
And just on the injury list, nothing really to report. Dan Butler's still a test with his groin soreness, so hopefully he gets up for this week. Nick Floston's still a week away with his shoulder. Jack Graham down to 2 weeks, Screeners, before you ask me.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him play.
And you've got to throw the buy into these as well.
Okay.
And then Callum Moore's been added to the injury list with an ankle injury out of the VFL the week before. He's 4 to 6 weeks away. And no movement on the indefinite guys in Hampson, Griffiths,
I saw them running laps
Conker.
before,
So that's where we're at.
Okay.
Beauty. Oh, now we go down a cock.
We have the excitement of the down to this.
Club news to this.
This is a bit of meditation. You could hold hands and meditate.
I feel so good now.
Well, you mentioned before, on the back of Toby Nankervis.
Recruit of the year.
Recruit of the year and the impact he's had. I thought I'd go this week with my top 10 Tiger recruits from rival league clubs.
Right.
And this time I will do it in order.
Oh, good.
This time. I'm not saying I will every week. I won't do it every week, but I will this time, all right?
Johnny P just walked in.
He's happy. Johnny P's very
happy
happy.
you've finally gone out on a limb and you're going to go from 1 to 10.
He's very happy there. Yeah. All right, okay.
He came down to our pub, the Hotel Brighton, Friday night,
good.
Johnny P.
He said that it was a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah, shame I couldn't get there. Okay, so at number 10, and I'll just whip through these.
Yeah, go quick,
real
punchy.
Number 10 is Graham Landy. He came from Geelong. He's a very, very good player. He played 120 games, very stiff. Would have been a 1980 premiership player. Got reported suspended for 4 weeks.
He was our runner in
GL, was? He
in Johnny Northey's days.
That's right, yeah, very good player. Number 9, Leon Cameron.
Oh, Bakes.
Terrific player, yeah. We've spoken about Bakes before. And anyway, number 8, Kane Johnson, Sugar. Captained the club, won a Jack Dyer medal. Very good player, Sugar.
Very, very, very well respected in the playing group.
Extremely well respected. Yep. Number 7, Mick Malthouse. So Mick came over from St Kilda, became a leader here, back pocket, 1980 premiership player. Unfortunately, missed out in 82 with a shoulder injury. Arguably cost us the 82 flag because he didn't play. Number 6, Wayne Walsh. Now, Wayne Walsh started at Richmond, went to South Melbourne, became actually represented Victoria as a South Melbourne player, had a blue with Norm Smith was coaching them, and came back to Richmond, played in the 73-74 premiership side. Very good, tough, long-kicking wingman. Number 5, Robbie McGee, came from Footscray, got the flick from Footscray, came over here, was just a run-of-the-mill player at Footscray, became a super key member of our 73-74 premiership sides, centre-half back, long-rangey, tough, but a very, very important player, very important member of that side. Yeah. Number 4, teammate of yours, Paul Broderick. Broderick came from Fitzroy, played 150-odd games at Fitzroy.
Just an engine room player, Broderick.
Just real footy brain.
Yeah, real footy brain. The worst dress sense of anyone I've ever
Still wearing those thin leather ties.
Yeah, chambray shirts.
Yeah, daggy, real daggy.
Terrible kit,
but
Broderick.
Geez, he could play.
Very good.
Skillful.
Good
really
bloke,
high
too.
skill.
Good
Great
bloke,
bloke, great bloke. Number 3, we've spoken about this bloke before. Paul Sproul.
Tasmania.
68 grand final player at Essendon. Came here, absolute gun player, 4 seasons, 2 premierships, and played in the engine room here and was a super player. Number 2, Barry Rawlings, came from Hawthorn. Was just about gone, I thought, Hawthorn.
Listen to this song.
No, it's magnificent. Had a bad knee injury, but came here and just won a best and fairest in his first year. Captained the club, 1980 premiership side.
Well, it's obvious who number 1
super
is.
Super player.
Yep.
Who?
Oh, Ian Stewart.
Yeah, Stewie's number 1. Stewie's number 1 for everything he did here. Won a Brownlow, Jack Dyer medal, premiership player.
You've got something against Nathan Brown.
Well, how could I fit him in?
You've just got something against him.
How could I fit him in? There was a lot. And you know who else are pushing? Yeah. Basher Hooley and Sean Grigg would be pushing in to get inside the top 10. Yeah. And I tell you what, if I do this list in 5 years,
Nank will be in there.
Nank will be right up there.
Thanks, Tony. Our boy's here. He's arrived.
You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. To let the best.
Yes, it's VFL report time. As always, we're joined by Louis Gillett to have a look at the VFL game, which was played here on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Louis, and a good win by the boys.
Yeah, good win. Good to get back to Punt Road, and even better to get back on the winners list with the 17-point win over Essendon, who brought in a pretty strong side as well. It was always going to be a tough one. but obviously a really, really promising performance. Definitely the best we've had over the past few weeks, so really promising to see.
A good atmosphere. It would have been a great atmosphere here.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We got a good
crowd.
Yeah, I didn't get the final reading on who was in, but the Jack Dyer stand was full, which is always one of the great sights to see down at Punt Road.
Absolutely.
Of Dons and Richmond alike. So a lot of people got there and stayed till the end of the game as well. You usually see a few filter out maybe to get to Dreamtime at the G. We had a good crowd from start to finish, so that was fantastic.
In the final practice game, they gave us a bit of a touch-up.
Yeah.
They had a pretty strong team in this week with Howlett, Stanton, McKernan, Craig Bird, and what changed?
I think, and obviously I don't want to say like we weren't drawing in the VFL practice game or something like that, but we did take that game. It was our last practice game. We really took that chance. Yeah, experiment a bit. Like, get a lot of the VFL listed players out there. It was pretty much an entirely VFL list we have, and a lot of the AFL blokes had the week off that week, with the exception of, I think, 3 or 4 players. So we didn't have our strongest team in, but obviously we came in with, we had Anthony Miles, Oleg Markovs, both the Evans are in. So we came in with a pretty strong side, and I think, that difference in class just really ended up showing at the end of the day.
And it was a go-to-woe performance?
It was a, what was
a
that?
go-to-woe performance.
Yeah, go-to-woe. That's a real...
Do you know what I mean by that?
Football vernacular.
No, what's
football.
You're going to have to school me on that one.
Yeah, go-to-woe.
Well,
that's
from start to finish.
Start to finish.
Go-to-woe. No, I'll use that one later.
So this is the great cultural divide here.
Start to finish then.
I know, kids today.
Kids these days, Tony.
I know. It's like me talking to you. You don't understand me either. So, yeah.
So was it a start to finish performance?
No, it really was, Richard.
From the get-go.
If we're done past that, from the get-go. If you said that, I would have
From the get-go.
It was from the get-go. Essendon did, though, they stuck with us for the first 2 quarters. They led by 4 points at the first break and then just 1 point at the end. But that premiership quarter that we always like to see, the third was where we really stretched away, and then we managed to keep that momentum going into the fourth as well. So, go to woe would be the term for it, Richard, had ever I heard it before this podcast.
Now, Jake Batchelor, he won the medal for Best of Field.
Yeah, so Douglas Nichols' medal.
Sir Douglas Nichols'
That's exactly
medal.
right.
Yep.
Best of Field. And I think it was a pretty tight call, I would have thought in the end. You would have had a rough time choosing it, but his effort with 23 touches, 6 marks and 7 spoils was probably the best on ground, I would say, for the day. Anthony Miles might be feeling a little bit stiff. 35 touches, 7 marks, 7 clearances, 6 tackles and a goal as well, meaning he was in pretty good stead as well.
He's too good for VFL level, isn't he, Milesy?
Yeah,
he just
always
dominates.
Yeah, you see, he's just constantly having that. You can see how well-rounded that game is out of the middle. It's just, and the thing I've always said about this year as well is that he's starting to mark the ball really well as well.
Yep.
Really getting those, good set of jukes into the game as well. So I think he's really improved on Miles. As you say, Richard, I think he's just about ready for that AFL experience.
You mentioned off air to Ryan Garthwaite, you thought it was his best game of the season?
Yeah, I thought it was his best as well, and he really was being a great deputy for Batch as well going back. We know that his big strength is reading the flight of the ball, getting a hand across the forward, and also his intercept marking as well. It was good to see. I think he finished 17 disposals for the day as well. So he really gathered a lot more of the footy, and particularly the first half. He found with it a fair bit, and it was good to see him use it well as well. So I think, in my humble opinion, Greeners, I do think it was his best game for the club. So really promising for one of our young players.
We got an email during the week from Phil Burrell, one of our regulars. He wants to know how Marby or Chol went, and is it time with that second forward?
Maybe not time just yet, obviously, but I do think for the past couple of weeks it has been his best performance. Past few games we've probably seen, obviously the side's best defenders do tend to go to Marbs, and obviously playing on that kind of tag with his kind of reputation is quite difficult. But to see him come out and have an impact, in particular for all the Tiger fans, I would recommend you have a look at the website, in particular the video segments of it. We've got a video of Marbs scooping up the crumbs on the left half forward flank, slotting one home on the left peg from just about the boundary as well, and then he probably spent about twice as much energy running around half the ground, high-fiving all the Tiger fans that were there.
Well, you've got to do it.
You've got to do it. He loved it. He got right into it. And it was right on the third three-quarter time siren as well. So it was just, Pun Road just really erupted when he did that. So I think that'll do wonders for his confidence. And you never know. Next couple of weeks, we might see a bit more of him.
What about some of the other senior listed players?
Yeah, so Stevie Morris, I thought, was another outstanding. Obviously, you can tell a lot of our defenders have really, came to the fore in this one. Stevie Morris had his 20 touches, 3 clearances and 5 tackles as well. Really solid pressure, really great leadership that we always see from him. Corey Ellis perhaps started a bit slower, ended with 18 disposals, but he did step up in that fourth quarter, nailed a nice clutch goal from about 40 metres out on the set shot, which really brought us home as well. Plus a bit of a 3-goal effort from Ben Lennon, which we're starting to see from him a bit more as well, with his 18 touches too, 7 marks as well.
Yeah, no,
so a couple of good efforts from the AFL boys in there.
I just got one more question here using hashtag Talking Tigers. This is from Zali Reacher during the week. Wants to know what song is used for the VFL report.
What
Love
song?
the show.
What the song, as in As in right here.
You're
There you
looking
go.
sharp. You're looking
I
good.
thought it said, it's got
You've
the product
come
name
so
in the song.
far.
I believe it is a Gillette ad.
It's a Gillette
jingle.
Mach 3 shaving.
Yeah,
It
jingle.
sounds a bit like, how long ago? Because before this, I'd never heard that song.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Wow.
it's a massive
I
song.
think it was sort of
Huge.
mid-80s.
Yeah, Google
Yeah,
it
yeah.
if you want
There
to.
you go.
Oh,
There
there
it
it
is.
is.
Oh, what a
Can I
beautiful
ask
song.
one more quick question
more
before?
One more quick, I thought we were wrapping
No,
up.
no, just a quick question because Dimmer actually mentioned him in his post-match presser. Tyson Stengel, obviously the small forwards applying all that forward pressure. How did Tyson go?
Yeah, Tyson, he was a little bit quieter today, perhaps more than his other matches. Still finished with a goal. And the thing I think it was Ferg who said a couple of weeks ago, Ryan Ferguson, of course, the backline coach of the VFL, said, it's just remarkable for a player of his age to be so young and just look so calm and composed. Whenever he gets a ball in front of goal, you just never have any doubt that he's going to slot it through. He did finish with the one today, the one on Sunday rather. 1 goal, 2 tackles, 2 marks, and his 11 touches as well. So he still found a way to have an impact, even though it might not have been his biggest game.
Yep.
Beautiful. Louis, who do we play this week in the VFL?
We're heading out to Beaconsfield this week,
Beaconsfield?
guys. So, yeah, it's a bit of an...
So who are we
bit of
playing
Chris
at
Newman
there?
country. Yeah,
Chris Newman
It
country
is.
indeed.
country.
Our home game as well.
Yeah, that's right. It is our home game, and we're playing Werribee, Richo.
On
So obviously
what day?
on Saturday,
On
1
Saturday?
p.m.
Okay.
So obviously Werribee aside, AFL affiliated with North Melbourne, so we could see a couple of those AFL guys filter through. So it should be a really good challenge
Yeah,
for the
it will
guys,
be.
and obviously any Tiger fans up that end at Beaconsfield.
There's plenty out there. Don't
There
worry
is
about
plenty
that.
out there,
Yeah.
so I reckon we'll see a good crowd. Make sure you get down and support the boys.
Beautiful, Louis. Thanks again. Always comprehensive.
Yeah,
and
as
did you
always.
end up grabbing that milkshake
Yeah, did you ever-
last week?
No milkshake this week, unfortunately. Working on it though.
Yeah,
All right, beautiful.
Good on you.
All right.
He's a real hipster, isn't he, Louis?
Yeah, he doesn't wear socks.
No, he
Notice that?
I know.
Why?
Well, he's a hipster.
You can't. You got to be wearing socks in this weather.
He went to a
It's
gig out
freezing.
in Brunswick last week,
A
he told
gig?
us. He's a real Brunswick north side hipster, isn't he?
He is.
Anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't know anything but go to woe, but
No,
anyway.
he hasn't heard of Frenzell Rom either, the
kids
band.
Yeah, that was.
It's kids today.
That lost me.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway.
Hey, good win. We spoke about it earlier, but I just wanted to mention one thing that
Yes.
Paul Roos said on Sunday on the radio.
Yep.
He was spot on, Roosie.
Yep, what'd he
We
say?
are playing a sustainable brand of football.
Yep.
We're in the contest, and it's just a great game for the supporters each week to come and watch because you know Richmond are going to be in the game at the moment, apart from those
Absolutely.
3 quarters against Adelaide.
Yep.
And it was good to hear a premiership coach, Paul Roos, say that it was a sustainable brand of footy.
Yep.
And that's what it was, 71 inside 50s
Yeah.
on the weekend. Trapping it in our forward half, it's great.
Yeah, it's that forward. I think 52.
Totally
52 forward half turnovers.
Totally
which is a massive
and
number.
we're number 1 for forward 50 tackles in the AFL.
Yep.
It's just a good brand of footy, and it's
No, it
totally
is.
different to how we played last year.
It is.
And I was glad Paul Roos said that.
And the other thing is there's scope for enormous improvement because it's a very, very young side. And I've said this before. Sean Grigg is the oldest player on the side and he's just 29. So it's a really young side with enormous upside.
In fact, we've got just a grab from Dimmer on the weekend talking about that young forward line you mentioned, Tony.
Conversion inside 50. You know, we have got a really young forward 6. You know, Jack is obviously an experienced campaigner, and got young Todd Elton who's played under 10 games. Daniel Rioli's second season. Shea Bolton's played 2. Georgie Castagna's played a handful as well. So we have got probably, if not one of the more inexperienced forward halves going around, and they'll take some time. We're really impressed how they're going. But you know, they're probably at the stage now where they've played a lot of games in a period of time. You know, Dan Butler will be back next week, and there's a young kid by the name of Tyson Stengel that'll be a pretty good player for us as well at stage. It might be thereabouts.
Gee, that's good to hear from Dim. And now
Yeah.
we'll go into the votes.
Yep.
Contentious votes and
Ooh.
lots of apologies. First, I gave my 3 votes to Dustin Martin. I agree with both coaches. I agree with the panel who gave him best on ground. I think he was outstanding. Even that goal he kicked in the goal square, he had 3 goes at it
Yeah,
and
good,
just
was it?
didn't give up. His ball use inside 50 was outstanding. 2 I gave to Trent Cotchin, led from the front throughout the 4 quarters, but especially in the 2 goals that we did kick, he was instrumental in getting both. I think
fend off. He had the Dusty Don't Argue.
and I think even at
Tipper.
one point he went inboard with a left foot kick that went over someone's head, but he chased up, won the ball in the middle of the ground and set us up again. So he was outstanding. And 1 vote, I've got to say sorry to Alex Rance, who was outstanding as well, but I gave...
Couldn't fit Ranty in.
I couldn't, which
hard.
it's tough. I gave 1 vote to Brandon Ellis. I thought it was his best game that I've seen, probably his best game since he won the Yoikin 2 years ago. And I'm sure you guys will say more, so I gave him 1 vote.
He was magnificent. I gave 3 to Brandon Ellis. Sorry, Dustin Martin. But I just, as you said, I think I think it's the best game I've seen Brandon Ellis play. It was a thorough game.
Equal career high contested possessions.
He took some intercept marks. He was hard.
He was very good.
His disposal went at 90%. I thought it was his best game I've seen him play, Brandon Ellis. I gave 2 to Dustin Martin. You can't speak more highly of this man at the moment. And I gave 1 to Alex Rance, who continues to be the best defender I've just about seen now. I'm just about with Luke Darcy, I think.
Best you've ever seen?
I think so.
Okay.
Scarlett was very, very good, but gee, Rancey's good. I gave him 1. And sorry, Trent Cotchin, he should have got votes as well, but it's just you can't fit 4 into 3.
Can I apologise to Brandon Elliston straight off because I couldn't quite fit him in, and I agree with everything that's been said about him. Thought he was terrific. I go 3 to Dusty, 2 to Koch, and 1 to Rance.
Yes, very, very good. So the leaderboard, Dusty out in front on 49. Rancey's in second position now on 30. Trent Cotchin, 26. Jack, 20. And Grigor rounds out the top 5. Still a good segment this one.
It's a great segment. Yeah, another thing I've come up with. Yeah.
I went with Richmond having a 5-goal win last week.
Oh, should have been.
Well, we should have. We had 10 more scoring shots.
Yeah.
Had about 30 more inside 50s. We should have won by 5 goals. We didn't.
No.
But I reckon I was on the money.
Yeah,
I felt confident
give
about
you
the
that.
game.
We'll give you
give
that.
me that?
Yeah,
anyway?
give you that.
All right. Yeah. This week, I'm simply saying that my favourite player now, just about.
Who is your favourite
apart
player?
from Dusty.
Who?
The big Nank.
Oh, the Nanker.
The big Nank will get coaches' votes this week. He will get coaches' votes.
You are very close. He's calling you Rick in your interview.
Yeah, we're
post-game.
tight, mate. We're Tassie boys. We stick together.
Calling you Rick.
Yeah, he did call me Rick.
Oh, what did
I was happy with that.
JB?
Get the rundown back.
I'll get my last week's rundown.
Last week I went with Shea Bolton to kick his first AFL goal.
Oh, we had that one from the boundary line that he should have probably squared up.
He should have squared up, but he saw Daniel do it in round 3.
Yeah.
You don't want to coach that out of him.
No,
he had another flying snap as well, so he's got 3 behinds to his name so far. I was pretty happy with his game regardless. This week I'm going for Josh Caddy. I reckon he can kick 3 goals.
He's
had
another
his
one.
Opportunities last week.
He was good.
He was good.
He could have kicked 4 or 5.
Correct. So that's why this week I'm going for him to kick 3, and it'll be important that Eddie had for him to do that.
Well, if we gave you yours, I should give you mine. I should have got last week's because I went for Jack to win the Yayukin only because I thought he'd just kick it back. Now he missed 2 or 3 sitters. He admitted he had the yips a little bit, right? So he should have kicked those 5. He had the left foot snap that stood on its end that should have gone through. So really should have kicked 5 or 6. No, we're not giving you that one. He should have kicked 5 or 6, and if he had, he would have won it. But anyway, I'm going for him this week. He will have 800 shots for goal this week.
He will
in practice, and he will kick a bag against North on Saturday night.
So 5 plus.
5 plus.
Good. All right. Hey, just one thing. North Melbourne this week, big game.
Massive
as we
game.
Move on quickly.
And they are going well too. North, they're playing very good footy.
Playing good footy. They could have won 3 or 4 more games as well. They're playing pretty good footy. I think my point for this game is that we do not let Hanson, Tarrant and Thompson dominate those aerial battles inside our forward 50.
We grub the ball in.
We just need to make sure we bring it to ground, not let Tarrant and Thompson and Hanson intercept. Because if it gets to ground level, we know what we can do with our forward 50 tackles. Must nullify those 3 tall defenders. That's my key to this game.
Right.
What's yours?
I'm saying that we had all those forward 50, inside 50 entries last week. We just obviously need to maximise our forward 50 entries, so we must convert better this week.
Okay,
it's going to be critical.
I like it. What do you reckon, JB?
For me, it's probably keeping their older players in check. Higgins and Wade are still the keys for them, I reckon.
So
Great ball
Lambert
users.
on Higgins?
I reckon Lambert will go to Higgins and Asprey in the form he's in
He'll
to go to Jared Wade. And no Richmond supporter needs a reminder of what he can do. So if we can keep those 2 under wraps, I reckon we go a long way to winning.
I like it.
Fair enough.
Punchy. Xavier Clark's waiting upstairs.
All right, okay. Righto. I wanted to mention a couple of things that had happened this time 50 years ago in the world, right? Or in Australia in particular. So it was 50 years ago yesterday, May 29, 1967, that the $5 note went into circulation for the first time.
Right.
that
Yeah, it was
right?
no $5 note before then.
I
So it was
didn't
a
know
year.
that.
It was a year after we went to decimal
So you
currency.
had 1 and 2s and 10s.
but no fives.
Good,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
And it's 50 years on June 1st, which is a couple of days' time, that Don Dunstan, remember Don
Donnie
Dunstan used to wear
Dunstan?
the pink hot pants and
Yeah.
took over as Premier of South Australia in 50 years ago.
Donnie
Yeah,
Dunstan.
Donnie Dunstan.
What happened
and,
on the football
Also,
Has
was
Sergeant Pepper's dropped yet?
50,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
the other thing I was
hang
going
on.
to say. 50 years ago, since the great Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band
Yes.
album was released.
Brilliant.
So massive. Now, on the footy front, you might remember Richmond had that great win against Geelong, the big third quarter.
Yeah.
They come out in round 8 against Collingwood, arch rivals, and Collingwood had the wood over the Tigers for a fair bit of time. And Collingwood did get up. It was a big game at the G, and Collingwood got up by 7 points.
So we only lost 3 games for the year.
Yeah, we did. That was one of them. So it's 13-5 to 13-12 at the G. Royce kicked 5-1. So he's started to really get his kicking boots on. Very accurate there. John Northey kicked 3, and your old man Bull kicked 2 that day.
Did he?
Francis had 21 disposals. Billy Barrett had 21, and Dick Clay had 18. Now, there's a couple of interesting things out of the game. Kevin Sheedy was dragged in this. It was the second week in a row he was dragged, right? And this was his last senior game of the season.
Oh, really?
Because he subsequently went back to the reserves, copped a knee injury, and didn't play in the grand final, didn't play in the
Good.
premiership
Didn't
side
know
year.
that. That's good.
So there, and the other one was a debut of a player that was a pretty handy player here, went on and became a premiership player. Mike Bowden made his debut in that round when he was 20 years, 75 days old, went on and played 59 games, 1969 premiership player. He actually took over basically from your old man. He took up the handball, Ruck Rover handball exponent, and of course his 3 of his sons played here. Sean, Joel and Patrick all played senior footy with the Tigers.
And his other son, Rhett, was a very good cricketer.
And there was
And a
another
good
son,
footballer.
and Kane was a good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Kane was a
Yeah,
good,
Kane's good footballer
good
too.
footballer too,
Yeah.
and cricketer. Yeah, there you go.
6 kids, the Bowdens. They good today?
Not bad. Why did the prawn leave the nightclub early?
Don't know.
Because he pulled a muscle.
Johnny like that one.
Yeah.
Johnny P.
I'm actually feeling pretty proud of myself at the moment.
You're wobbling around.
Yeah, I am. Well, because see, I went out. I bought a Sesame Street puzzle.
Did
right?
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it said on the pack, it said 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah, but I finished it in 18 months. So it's wrapped. I've changed my password too. I've changed my password.
Well, don't tell
No,
everyone.
I've changed it. It's really clever. I've changed it to incorrect. So whenever I forget what it is, the computer will say your password is incorrect. It's a really good way of doing it. Really, really good way. Do you want one more?
One more. You've been to Doc's? You need,
Oh, I need to go. I
your
do.
mince pies are
No, they're not good.
ordinary.
They're not good. But I did have to. I have to let you know that I
Right.
was addicted. I was addicted to the hokey pokey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thankfully I turned myself around.
Gee.
That's it. You got to go.
I do. Xavier
Yeah.
Clarkson.
I don't think
I'm
Lou
sure.
would have got that joke.
No, no, not from Go to Wowie, wouldn't
No,
it?
thanks, boys. Thanks.
No, good.
You know, we've got to thank Scones, mate. The work he does behind the
It's
scenes
all right.
here,
Power of work.
he's magnificent.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And Johnny P.
Johnny comes in, and
Yeah.
Rhett Bowden, Rhett Bartlett, Rhett Bowden's. Anyway,
Yeah. All right.
thanks for listening.
Go
Oh, yeah,
Tigers.
And Mike
Come
Gaymore,
on, Tigers.
he still listens to
Yeah,
us.
good on you, Mike.
Over in America.
He's a massive Tiger fan.
Have a good week.